Okay. Um, Today I had to. Well, actually, it wasn't today. It was like a month ago. But we talked about it today. I explained to my mom a while back that not to get her hopes up, and we were talking about election, the fraud, all this stuff, and the well, once the Supreme Court gets a hold of it, they'll make everything all right. If there's something wrong, they'll figure it out. And then it was, well, once they find something wrong and they investigate this thing, and then it's going to be the Republican legislatures will vote on it. And they'll all vote, fix it. They'll all vote in favor of Trump, and all work itself out. And none of that happened. There were several other things in there too. None of it happened. And I told my mom, I said, don't get your hopes up because this may not happen. She says, well, why not? I said, well, you don't know what the Supreme Court's going to do. You don't know what their state of. I mean, we've had Roberts all this time, and he's never failed to disappoint. Then we have the. I told us you're depending on the. Because a lot of things that were going on during this were dependent upon all of the established Republican Party, the leadership, to be on board on the same page of voting in favor of Trump. And I told my mom, I said, nobody has wanted Trump gone more than the Republican leadership since day one. Well, they play it along and they try, they ride his coattails as long as they could. But no, but the Republican leadership has wanted him gone more than the left. And so I just told my mom, so you can't depend on them. It may work out, but chances are it probably won't. And it didn't. I never thought there'd be a time when I'd actually look at the FBI as a corrupted institution or the Department of Justice. I've always thought that about the media. But it's apparent. Some say, well, your side lost. That's why you're bummed out about this stuff. No, it's just, you'd have to be clueless not to see this. But we the flat tire here is the Republican Party. If the left did not do what they've done, I would be disappointed. They see an opportunity, they take advantage of it. Or they'll make an opportunity and take advantage of it. That I would expect of them. But it's the Republican Party, the leadership, that's the big disappointment. Just like they were back when we were dealing with the pre-Obama and then Obama gets elected and all this kind of stuff. They have not. They're just they suck as bad now as they did back then. Only now it's more apparent. It's more aggressive. And as far as the Republic, they couldn't care less. And I'm not someone who should speak on these things. I don't know about third parties, alternate parties. I mean, they destroyed the Tea Party. They took this Trump down. I don't think the swamp can be deswamped. And that's a shame. If there was another, I think it would actually take not a political movement, but a cultural movement that would drive the politics. But like I said, I'm not someone smart enough to know about that stuff. But it would be great if there was another party or another option for people on the right, because the Republican Party is not on the right. They're in the opportunity business. That's just my opinion. But I don't know. If it goes back to the same old thing where they try to run another Rumsfeld or some person like that, or even if there is another election, who knows? Who knows what kind of mess is going to come out of this thing? But once again, internal exile. I talked about the previous video when I was. I'll switch into that. The internal exile, going back into myself and just focusing on what I had to take care of. I was a lot of bummed out and that kind of stuff too. I wouldn't go into that part. This is not a moment to be depressed or run down. It's just what is. So if you identify that now you live in a different place, it's going to be a different climate. Okay, so what? You got to do what you got to do. But the point, before I don't get into that, the point of the video is we've depended on a group that we thought was in our, because we're not on this group, we're part of this group. And we've depended on this group that really has taken advantage of us for a very long time, knowing that we have no one else to vote for. And that's a shame. I'd like to see that change. I don't know how. I don't know how that would ever, if there would be an alternative. I'd really like to see an alternative come up that could get enough votes to leverage either one of the other sides against each other. That would be fun. But we got to do what we got to do. But don't get bummed out about this stuff. The point I was trying to make, the original part of the video, was we depend on another group. We depend on the system. The FBI is going to figure it out. The DOJ is going to do something. The attorney generals are going to do something. God, what a joke that turned out to be. Just terrible. And we can depend on none of that. We have to depend on ourselves, each other, our family, and what we do. Our personal skills, our people skills, our self-sufficiency, and all these sorts of things. And we have to be able to roll with the punches. Adapt. All those great little phrases and words and stuff. We have to be able to do that. We have to become more self-sufficient. The only thing I can depend on is my faith. I got the promises of Jesus. I got a book that tells me so. That's all I got, and that's enough. I was done with the politics until Trump came along. Wasn't a fan of his, but I promoted him because I didn't want Hillary. But I've really come to enjoy him as my president. The right guy at the right time. A lot of you don't like him. That's fine. Second Amendment, all that stuff. But I thought he did a great job. I would have liked to see another 4 years, but I guess that's not going to happen. But we had a good run. But now we're going to see. I think what's going to happen is the rest of. Been in California my whole life, and I've seen what it's done. I've been involved in politics since the early '90s, and I see what this side of the coast has done. But I think for the most part, a lot of states are now going to become California, and that's going to be hard for a lot of people to swallow. But keep your wits about you. You can't. This is no time to get bummed out, emotional, or anything like that. You know, you just keep moving forward. And we got to stop depending on all these other people because they're just humans, frail humans. Get your book out, start reading, start praying a lot. Love you, God bless.